Well, you've seen the title, and now you're mad. Now, before you do go absolutely crazy, remember this. I was brought up on the Attitude Era. I love the Attitude Era, and no matter what any wrestling company ever does, they will never be able to go toe-to-toe for what we did create here, because it was a special and it was a magic time in pro wrestling. If you did experience it in real time as well, you know how it made you feel in the Tootsie Toes. But there is an argument that maybe right now, WWE has surpassed, dun dun dun, the Attitude Era. Why? See, I hit myself for you. Here's why. Now the comments are already filled with people shouting, but they're not even getting half the viewers as they were in the late 90s. And you're 100% correct. But you can't just look at one metric in this life. You have to put more in the bag and stick your head in. And look, they were absolutely smashing it in this period, but also a lot more people were watching television then. I mean, television was basically our sole source of entertainment. Social media and the internet barely existed, which is both terrifying. Sounds like a wonderful place. But I kind of do think it's more popular or more people are aware of it in 2023, because take my sister. She don't really care about sports entertainment, she don't care about wrestling, but every now and then I get a message going, haha, just saw Dominic and Rhea Ripley on that TikTok, they make me laugh. And she don't even know who these people are, she still thinks Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins are the same person. I do understand that when it comes to the business side of things, that's kind of irrelevant, but in terms of eyes on the product, well, you have someone that isn't even into this stuff, just reeling off wrestlers' names. That is totally bonkers. We shall turn to SmackDown as we always do recently to look at this, because when we had that episode recently, when we had the trial of Roman Reigns, for a good period, it was the most watched show within that 7-day period on all of United States television. Now actually, when we got all the numbers, it ended up as number 3. But number 3, even when it was massive, in the Attitude Era, it was not getting into number 3. The week before this, it was also number 2, so eventually, no, it is going to be number 1, and it all comes down to this bloodline angle, because people love themselves some Roman Reigns, and they love themselves some Jey Uso. So when we start talking about merchandise, which we'll get back into later, he was the top seller. So this storyline has been an absolute success. He is the main event. This is where the rating arguments does come into play as well, because one of the biggest things that the WWF ever did put on TV was Andre versus Hulk Hogan. Now look, millions upon millions did tune into that, but when you looked at the chart, it was number 33. Now that is amazing, you cannot take away from it, but once again, when we do move back into the modern day, less people are turning on their television boxes, because again, there's so much entertainment, but those that do, well, a huge majority are going, haha, I'm gonna watch some wrestling. So that is crazy success, my friends. Don't argue it, just embrace it. And WWE are gonna be doing backflips, because they're about to renegotiate their TV deals, and probably about to get a bag of money from the likes of NBC and Fox, or maybe an even brand new contender. They're gonna push start. And there's other numbers I like to throw in there as well, because yes, we mentioned merch, and even at the height of Hulkamania, WWE is making more money on t-shirts, etc., than they ever have before. And just go look at the attendances. 10,000 for Raw, 10,000 for SmackDown, over 50,000 for SummerSlam. WrestleMania now does absolutely obscene numbers, and the stock the other day, when the stock market closed, was worth more than it ever has been. So in many ways, we don't even need to compare the years, but in terms of what they are doing right now, well, you just got to give them a massive round of applause and look a little bit like a seal. And this shouldn't be seen as a bad thing either, because even if you look at 1997 to 2001, you're like, oh my gosh, that's my child. Do you not want WWE to get back there? Of course you do. It's also why AEW totally smashing these Wembley numbers rocks, if you are a UK guy like me, because WWE ain't going to take that lying down. That's why all these WrestleMania rumors have started. They will probably do a 2-day event for Mania over here in Wembley. And who's going to go? This idiot. Nobody's going to want to give that record up, which is why we should all be embracing this, because we, the fans, are winning. And you're a fan, so if you don't want us to win, it means you want us to lose. Get back in your hole. I kind of feel like this will continue too, because even when someone does try to toss it aside, it just keeps getting bigger. Because, oh no, not going with Sami Zayn is going to ruin it. Nope. Oh no, not making Cody Rhodes the champ at WrestleMania 9 is going to kill it. Nope. Oh, I can't believe we're keeping the belt on Roman. This is the worst. Nope. The all-important 18 to 49 demo is also breaking silly records, which is probably young people seeing clips on YouTube and social media and thinking to themselves, well, I want to watch it in real time. It's piqued their interest, which is why when we go back to that trial of Roman Reigns, it was the second quarter of it when numbers were through the roof, because people had learned, oh my gosh, they're doing the tribal chief stuff right now. I'm going to get that remote and click, I'm getting involved. This is also great for the wrestlers, because when it's time to renew their deals, they'll just be able to get all the money. And somewhat incredibly, given what happened a few years ago, who is leading the charge? Roman Reigns. So, WWE were right. He was the superstar of the correct choosing. They just took a very, very strange path to get there. But as always, sometimes it is actually about the destination. Ultimately, we can go back and forth about this forever and never come up with a winner because they're two totally different products. Again, when I was watching the Attitude Era, I didn't even know what a spoiler was. And now, I can't get away from it. Sometimes they knock on my door and go, ha ha, The Undertaker's gonna lose at WrestleMania. I was like, I just wanted to have my lunch. It just makes me so happy though, and I love it. So sell more t-shirts, sell more tickets, make sure numbers continue to go through the roof, because what appears to be happening is I, the wrestling fan, am getting so much good content on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you could probably say there is way too much of this, but I'd rather a bunch of good stuff than a slap around the face. Also, ultimately, when you do break it right down, that's all you have to care about. You take your 2 to 3 hours and you decide, well, was I entertained? And if the answer is yes, you are the winner. So we shall have to see what happens over the next 12 months, 18 months, and maybe even 3 years. But if WWE does have these plans, as they seem to, especially as they continue to take their major premium live events and put them in these massive stadiums, well, who the hell knows where the peak of this is? Maybe it does carry on from a long-ass time. I massively like it as well because fans over all promotions are just making so much noise. And again, that's where I get the most fun. So wrestling is booming, my friends. We've been waiting for it. And here's those classic words, long may it continue. Now look, there was a lot to break down there, so I need you to get in the comments and let me know your thoughts. And I just want to double down and say the Attitude Era rocks and the modern day era rocks. Isn't it nice that we can experience them both and go wahoo wahey? Also, please do click the video on the screen so you can see another stupid video with me in it. Doesn't sound totally appealing, but give it a go, you never know. Before you like the video, share the video and subscribe. Plus, we're on social media at WhatCultureWWE, at SimonMiller316, and we have a website. It's called WhatCulture.com, and we will let you know about these kind of metrics, about these kind of numbers, about these kind of ratings, about these kinds of wrestling news, so you can just be drowning in pro wrestling stuff. My name is Simon for What Culture. Thank you very much for watching me as always. And I tell you the most interesting comparison. A lot of people say that after WrestleMania 17, that's when the Attitude Era ended because we turned Stone Cold Steve Austin heel, whereas in the modern day, it was turning Roman Reigns heel that triggered all this off to begin with. So you just never know, and it's probably why we should take more risks, but only in wrestling. In your own life, you take care of yourself and take care of your mother. She bore you, so you should be nice to her. Don't know how we got here. Goodbye.